Today is different. We have a tornado outbreak on the way with very large hail and a 80-mile-per-hour wind squall line that is going to come through and race east. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First, we got to start things off with today, and we got a moderate threat of severe weather targeting Illinois and Indiana. What's going to be different about today is that there is everything that needs to come together for a outbreak. So we have everything that we need to have tornadoes, and there's just all the ingredients that are going to come together, and today is going to be a very crazy day. Now, day 2 outlook, we got a slight risk extending from Kentucky all the way up into the northeast. And day 3 outlook, we just got a marginal threat down here in the deep south. Day 1 outlook, 15% chance of tornadoes, doubled hatched. So this basically means EF3 plus tornadoes. So we can have an EF3 and higher. That's how perfect today is. And this is why this is so serious, that you need to have a safe plan to get to your safe shelter if a tornado hits, because these storms are going to be moving 50 to 60 miles per hour east. So you're going to have basically no time to get to your shelter. So you're going to have to act fast whenever a tornado or like that tornado warning hits. You got to act fast and run to your safe shelter, because these storms are moving fast and they are dangerous. Long track, violent tornadoes are possible today. This is a very dangerous situation, so you definitely need to have a safe action plan ready to go. Just stay safe out there. Now, day 2 outlook, we just got a 2% tornado risk down here in the Dixie Alley, and it's just a 2% chance with this tropical storm coming through. We will talk about that later into the video. Let's go ahead and get to the other things though. Day 1 outlook of wind, and we got a 30% chance, and this is hatched. The only reason why it is going to be 80-mile-per-hour winds is because there is a squall line that is going to come through. With all these storms, when they form, they're going to become their individual cell, but they are going to be like a squall line that comes through, races 60 miles per hour east. Now, they're going to be individual cells, but they are going to be in like a line. So you can just imagine a line of storms just racing east. And we will show the radar later, but I just want to see if y'all can like picture that in your head. Now, day 2 outlook, just a 10% chance all the way up into the northeast and from Kentucky. Now today, with our hail risk, we have a 30% chance targeting Illinois, Indiana, and all the way into Missouri. So now, what today is different about with hail is that whenever that squall line moves through, there's going to be embedded a large hail. I can't rule out 2.5 inches to possibly 3 inches of hail in diameter with these storms, with that squall line coming through. Now, day 2 outlook, a 5% chance over here in Texas and Oklahoma. Day 1 outlook, we have a moderate threat, a 3 out of 4 risk of flash flooding targeting Chicago, Illinois, and then down here in New Orleans and Louisiana and Mississippi is where another moderate threat of flash flooding is. Can't rule out. In some places you can get up to 6 inches. There's going to be a lot of flash flooding with this tropical depression that is going to move into land. And now day 2 outlook, we got a even bigger moderate threat of flash flooding targeting even like this very south, like near the Gulf of Mississippi, Alabama, and a little bit of West Georgia. Now, day 3 outlook, this is our last moderate threat, but still, that is crazy. 3 moderate threats in 3 days. So we got a moderate threat targeting South Alabama, mostly. Got Mobile, Alabama, Montgomery, and a little bit of West Georgia in there. So these next 3 days are going to be busy. Now, today, I woke up a little bit early so I can film this video since I'll be gone, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's get into the other things. Okay, so day 1 outlook of daily the flash flooding. So if you go down here and you see this is 7 inches. So if you're looking at the orange, that is going to be the higher totals. So this is 4 inches in Louisiana near New Orleans. And then we got 3 inches. Let's move on to our day 2. Everything moves into Alabama, where we could have a possible 5 inches of rainfall. That is a lot. That will be enough to flood streets, and flash floods warnings could be going out. And I bet a lot of people in the South are under a flash flood watch right now, for sure. In day 3 outlook, we just have a few places that could reach 2 to 3 inches are possible. Now you just got to stay aware. Have that Weatherize app with you, because it will give you some warnings on where you are at. And Weatherwise is just the best app. It's not a sponsor, but it's just the best app that you need to use. And it is accurate. Alright, so we could get up to 3 inches in some places. It's mainly going to be 1 to 2 inches, and yet again 3 inches in some places. But that will be right now, that's all we can see. So let's go ahead and look at the timing of these storms today. We're going to have a little bit of a line come through Illinois and Indiana for the preview of the storms. So that's about 1 p.m. today, 2 p.m. And then that's whenever the back of the storms are going to come through around 4. And then later, that's where that squall line is going to come through. Now, what could happen today is that the first batch of storms, if they come through and bring us cloudy conditions, that's going to be good. But if they bring out the sun after those morning storms, or afternoon storms, I should say, if the sun comes out after them, that's just putting gasoline on a fire, guys. It is going to be bad if that happens, because you're just lighting up the fire even more. Because after 4 o'clock, it's game on, where we're going to have a squall line with individual supercells that are going to pop up and possibly bring tornadoes on the ground. Long track tornadoes, guys, this is serious. You need to have a safe shelter planned out. You gotta get your family and play it out like you're under a tornado warning, and you just gotta run to your basement, run to your bathtub, do whatever you can to stay safe, because today is a big day. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can see a longer model, because this is what it stops at 10 p.m. Today. So I'm going to go ahead and see it, and I'll cut to that next part. I went ahead and gone to the next part where we can see even more to Friday on the HRRR model. And on the Weatherize app, this is the 6C model in the morning. Alright, so that first batch is going to come through. This is all, that's going to depend. This first batch is going to come through. If that sun comes out, this gasoline onto the fire. It all depends. We're still gonna see a bunch of storms, like a lot, but it just really depends. If that sun goes out, that's just gonna bring the storms even more gasoline. If the sun doesn't go out and it stays cloudy, that's better, but there's still gonna be storms. So it's a lose situation. All right, let's go ahead and press play on that, and that squall line will come through by, I'll give you the time frame of around 4 o'clock, all the way until that squall line will weaken as it goes into the Ohio Valley. But it's basically done. I mean, this thing is going to move east 60 miles per hour, but it's going to be done by 3 a.m., which we just want this to be done earlier. But this thing is going to have embedded tornadoes, 80 mile per hour winds. Y'all hear this? 80 mile per hour winds. Very large hail and tornadoes. Let's just let that model play out real quick. But these storms are going to be strong. Yet again, please have an action plan ready to go. and just stay safe out there. Go look at our 6 to 10 day outlook, and it looks like most of the country in the east, northeast of the country, are basically going to stay cooler than average. All of these in the red area, I know, red, but it's cooler. But these places are going to stay cool. Now, over here in the west, you're going to stay above average. And then way down here in Florida, you're going to stay above average. Let's go ahead and look at that tropical storm that is going to move through land. Now, it is going to turn into a tropical storm today by 2 p.m. And then it's going to make landfall by 2 a.m. Alright? So it's going to make landfall in Louisiana, bring a lot of flash flooding and a good bit of storm surge. About 2 feet, I would say, of storm surge. So tropical depression will move through, and the spaghetti models are either going to say that it's going to move north into Mississippi and a little bit of Alabama, but there is a half and half situation now that the spaghetti models are going to move into Alabama and just move east into Georgia. So it's just, we don't really know what exactly is going to happen until it happens, but it's looking like it's either going to go through Georgia and Alabama, or it's going to move north. There still is a possibility, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it is going to move north into Texas and go straight through like Dallas. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is that it's going to go either north into Mississippi or into Alabama and Georgia. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to stay safe out there because I can't go live today. And see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.